Late last hour, a federal jury began deliberations in the civil rape case against Donald Trump. Writer E. Jean Carroll is accusing the former president of sexually assaulting her in a Manhattan department store in the mid-1990s.
During closing arguments, Carroll's lawyer argued Trump was not present at the trial because, quote, he knows what he did to her. The former president has denied all allegations. NBC News correspondent Ron Allen joins us now from outside the federal courthouse in downtown Manhattan. Ron, a lot of eyes on this today. What is the jury discussing? Do we know behind closed doors? And what could the potential outcome be for the former president?
They just got the case around just before noon, and they have to decide whether Mr. Trump is liable for battery and defamation of E. Jean Carroll. The battery charge, interesting, is rape, sexual abuse, or forcible touching. And then the defamation part of it is that he allegedly just ruined her life, harmed her personally and professionally by posting things on social media and elsewhere describing her as a liar, and this was a con job, and all of that. So they've got roughly 10 questions to answer, so this could take some time. Although the first question is about the allegation of rape, and if they say no to that, then they probably don't have much further to go in this whole process. But again, we will see. As you know, it was a very, at times, emotional trial. About 2 weeks, E. Jean Carroll on the stand for 3, sometimes emotional days. 2 of those days under cross-examination by former President Trump's lawyers, basically calling her a liar, saying that none of this happened. You know, they're not arguing about details, the Trump side. They're basically saying he doesn't know her, this never happened, it was a complete fabrication. And she is asking the jury to believe her. And that's what essentially this comes down to.
Ron, you've been covering this trial from the start. What's your sense looking at the jury as they received this information? They watched her testimony. They watched testimony from 2 of her friends who say that she called them at the time to explain what had happened.
You know, it's hard to tell, but that's what makes this case different, is that E. Jean Carroll also had a couple of witnesses, friends who she says she called back in the spring of 1996 to say what happened to her, to tell what happened to her. They testified. There are also 2 other women who claim that Mr. Trump sexually assaulted them, one in 1979, the other in 2005. So it's not just he said, she said. It's she said, and these are people who support her. The question is whether you believe all of them. And that was the point the attorneys were making, is that Donald Trump is not just saying that E. Jean Carroll is lying. He's saying that these 5 women and other witnesses are all lying, and he's telling the truth. And that's essentially what the jury has to decide.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.